For life.
Yeah. Bullet cast. What's going on? Stacy. This elite podcast in here. Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state, turn us on. If the feeling is right, every opinion now comes from the heart. No time we move with a part. We on the radio is wrestling.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am the microphone messiah, Philip Antwine. I am joined by Brandon Tanguma, the current Bulletcast champion, or the podcast champion, I should say, and Katie Scarlett. How you guys doing today? Episode 301.
Hello. Very excited.
I'm so excited. Just can't hide it. We're back to a regularly scheduled program. And once again, Brian's not here.
Brian is not here. He showed up for the 300th. We'll see him at episode, maybe 316? What? I'd see it. The Austin bit's only funny when he's here. Because I mean, not that, but when I go off and do the, growing up in Victoria Tech, when I go off and start doing that,
My bit, it's a Pat McAfee Stone Cold bit, so it's like a bit of a bit, double in Inception bit.
Double entendre?
Not in November.
Oh, not in November.
No one tundras in November.
Hope you gentlemen are doing all right so far. We're what 9 days in? Let's go.
Almost a third of the way there.
Almost a third of the way there. Some of y'all really don't got a choice, but yeah. Big news. It has been announced Alpha Zoe, his first title defense for the Bulletcast Heavyweight Championship is against Loverboy Leo. Yes. Leo made his debut earlier this year. He's been making some noise. Zoe's been in the game for about 5 or 6 years now. This is gonna be nice. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
It's great. As the other Bulletcast champion, I take great pride in the Bulletcast Heavyweight Championship and see who comes out on top. And it should be a fun match. Two friends of the podcast, as I think this Heavyweight Championship is going to be. Wrestlers that are associated with us, and it should be a fun time.
You never know, man. I mean, hey, at UGWA, people were asking me hey, what's going on with these Bulletcast shows? I'm like, oh, really? Oh, you try to come join the team? We'll talk some business. Katie, I know you love both gentlemen who are in this contest. You talked about it a little bit off air, but let's get it on the record. Loverboy Leo, Alpha Zoe, Bulletcast Heavyweight Championship. What are your thoughts?
Listen, I am in turmoil right now because when I joined the indie wrestling circuit and I became a fan and I started going to the shows, Alpha Zoe was the very first person who I was like, oh my gosh, I love him. I'm going to start cheering him on. I'm so excited. And then back at Toko's Kickback, I met Loverboy Leo. And we had ridiculous banter. And I was like, all right, I can hang with this fool. So I love him too. And I don't know what I'm going to do because no matter what, one of them is going to be sent home in heartbreak and the other one's going to be happy and have the gold. But dude, it's drama. It's drama. I have a soap opera life.
Yes, it's a days of our lives over here on the Bulletcast. So that happened, and then also Sandra Moon interview dropped. Miss Lightning in a Bottle, the Undisputed Pride Style and UGWA Heavyweight Champion. Yes, love Sandra. Finally got the interview. It's a great one. It's about 6.5 minutes. Something short, something sweet. Get in, get out, go home. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Miss Sandra Moon?
Well, of course, I did listen to the episode, to the interview, because I listened to them all. But it was a good time. I know this was something that you've been hunting down for a while, Philip. I know our former champion, Lil Durst, wishes he was there, but he was not. But Yeah, it was short, sweet, to the point. Talking about her days and ties with Impact. And you did ask the hot tub time machine question, and it stumped her. It was such a great question. She didn't know what the answer was, which means I listened to it, Philip. You think I'm just out here doing bits and just, talking in circles by not even talking about the actual interview? No, I did listen to it. All right.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, brother.
Fogging up
right.
my glasses. Can't even see anything, even though they're gimmick glasses.
Oh,
I just wanted to be just like you guys because you guys had glasses.
There we go. Katie, did you actually get to hear what she said now? What are your thoughts?
I know. Well, I was there. I helped with recording the show while we were at UGWA, but no, I mean, I love Sandra Moon. She's so great. She was first exposed to wrestling through indie wrestling in Vegas, where she was born and raised. Her brother wanted to start training at 17. Sandra was at 15. She was like, hey, I'll join you. And look at where she is now. She was ranked number 74 on her very first PWI Top 150 Women's Wrestlers. She was talking about how she's very accustomed to televised style wrestling. She's made appearances on AEW Dark and Impact twice, and she really wants to do more televised style matches. She's got eyes on the new West Coast Pro Championship that's going to be happening soon, I believe, right? She credits Candice LeRae and Dark Sheik as some of her favorite wrestlers. I love that she's big on cheat meal Hawaiian plate. Gotta get that.
Katie gave away the whole interview.
I know, right?
Yeah, now you guys don't have to go listen to the interview anymore.
You see, we don't want to do that. Just a couple tidbits, and then
I get excited. Come on.
We make them go watch it. We make him go watch it. Seriously, go check out the Sandra Moon interview. If you want to see Sandra wrestle out here again in the Bay Area, December 11th is the next UGWA show, the same day as, the Bulletcast heavyweight title match in Woodland. But I'll be at both because, I make towns, brother. I make towns. The loop, as Levi Shapiro would say. Yep. Oh, yeah. All right. Moving on from that, outside the ring, so Ric Flair was interviewed and he discussed fans using wrestling lingo. He says he has no respect for them.
What a bunch of marks.
Basically. Now I get where Flair is coming from. He's of an older generation where the business was protected to a T, and obviously, the business has been exposed for years. But I get what he's saying. Like people who aren't in the business, who don't work in it, who don't take bumps or working in any capacity. Why are you using our lingo? I get it, and there are fans that will use the lingo to try to sound cool or whatever. I did that stuff back when I was young and whatnot. You
definitely don't do it anymore, but you're a part of the business, so you can use it now, right, Philip?
Duh.
You're not a dirty little mark.
Oh my God! Look,
Like
I work shows. I get paid for my services. I'm in the business. But no, like when I was 15, I'd be like, "Oh, he's a heel," thinking I was cool and whatnot. Like looking back at it, like, oh, that's stupid. I don't know why I was doing that stuff. But Brandon, what are your thoughts on Flair's comments about fans using wrestling vernacular?
So I haven't seen the actual clip to get the full context of it, but I think I kind of sit on the same side as you, Philip. Like if it's just us, like us here on the podcast, just kind of throwing the terms around, I think it's fine. Or talking with your friends, it's fine. But then like once you go to that next level and you try to talk to the wrestlers, like
no, so
one of the boys or
like Flair, like in general, just like why are you using our lingo? You're not in the business. Basically, if you're
I think at this point the business is just so open that it's hard for you to expect that.
Yeah, Flair is basically like you're not in the business. Why are you using our terms? So like that's his gist of it. Katie, what are your thoughts? After you come,
I can see where it comes from. But honestly, with us, we're technically a media source. We do offer news and information.
We're the media source.
Yes, we are. We are the media source. I think that using terms if you're kind of like wrestling adjacent, I think makes sense. But otherwise, I don't know what to say, really.
Katie, you're
Is
breaking up.
there a real reason why he needs to jump on his back?
Katie, you're breaking up. We can't really hear you.
Katie's a robot. She's been taken over
She has been
by
taken
our
over.
robot overlords, and they've infiltrated the Bullet Cast.
They
Yeah,
have.
it's just something we didn't think this was going to happen until maybe episode 3000, but now episode 300, it's here. But
301.
301.
300. Katie, okay, you're back. So kind of just recap what you were saying.
Okay, so what I was saying was essentially I think people who are wrestling adjacent, people who are in the media and so on and so forth, I don't see any problem with us using wrestling vernacular. I think it's kind of weird that Ric Flair is dumping on his fans, honestly.
You know what? I think Ric Flair is right. You no, I'm not. I had a bit ready. I don't know where I was going with that. Look, it is what it is. This is a new generation. What are we gonna do? All right. The last match, not Ric Flair's last match, but the last match. It is a Broadway production starring Matt Cardona. Yes, there is obviously, there's acting, and then there is a wrestling match at the end of the play. Yeah. This is new. This is different.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it as well. Matt Cardona was also on Sam Roberts' podcast last week, and he said if he were to go back to WWE, he would not be Zack Ryder because Zack Ryder is dead.
T's and P's to Zack Ryder.
T's and P's to the Long Island IZ. Woo woo woo.
You know it, bro.
You know it. So, Brandon, are you a play guy? Are you a man of the arts like that? Are you Shakespearean at all?
Well, of course, a man of the arts. But I don't think I've ever gone to a play that was not a field trip for school. And I'm old, so it's been a while since I've been in school. But this seems like a cool. Well, I have seen Hamilton on Disney Plus, so I guess that counts. But I mean, it seems like a cool little thing, a play with a wrestling at the end, or is it like about wrestling? Like, what is the plot? Or do we even know what that is yet?
Yeah, no, it's about wrestling.
But like, is it like The Wrestler? Is it like a show, like a match? Like,
I'm not exactly too sure. I didn't really like. Actually, I forgot what he said, but like I know it's about wrestling. It is a Broadway play about wrestling with a wrestling match at the end.
Go get your tickets now before they sell out.
Yes, Katie, what are your thoughts?
I would say, as someone who has been in the musical theater industry for the better portion of my life, I was Rizzo in Grease. I was doo-wop girl in Little Shop of Horrors.
You're a theater kid?
Yeah, I was a big theater kid. I was also a pageant girl, so I was like nationally acclaimed with singing and all of that. I got accepted into a prestigious fine arts school with a scholarship, and ended up not being able to take it because I couldn't afford it even with the scholarship. I'm all for this. Any way that we can get people a little bit more into wrestling, because it is a performance, it is an art. I think that it's a great way to bring the two together. Wrestling show on Broadway.
So I have
Yeah.
the description here. The last match, a pro wrestling rock musical. The last match is the very first.
It's a musical.
Yes. The last match is the very first of its kind, fully immersive pro wrestling rock musical presented to you live in venues across the globe, paying homage to the art of professional wrestling. This touring production turns any venue into an actual wrestling arena. Wow, this sounds like a thing.
Can't wait for it to come to SF. We're going.
Two of my favorite things.
No, it's in Jersey right now. It's in Jersey right now. But you get to watch the show. You get a meet and greet with Mr. Cardona himself, and yeah.
I'm super excited for this.
Yes, if they make their way out here,
We
I'm
gone.
down. I'm down to go. I'm not opposed. MJF joins The Claw. Obviously, that is the new biopic discussing the life and times of the Von Erich family. I forget which Von Erich he will be playing, but it's I think it's Lance Von Erich, I believe, is the name. Speaking of like The Claw, Baron Von Raschke, he was just out here in San Francisco. There was a documentary done about him. He was at the screening and everything. I'm like, dang, that's cool.
Tifty.
That's cool. But guys, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, when he was gone away from AEW, the rumors were that he was getting into acting. So I guess this is it.
Well, MJF right there with Katie. He's also like a theater kid. He likes the arts, the artsy form of part of wrestling.
I was a theater kid too.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess everyone's a theater kid.
Made in heaven, man.
I guess I'm the only non-theater kid around here. So
I was in a production. I played a Hispanic farmer. I was in my one and only play. My one and only play.
Do you know the name of your play that you were in?
Absolutely not. I did not care.
Was it Holes? Were you playing Holes?
I was like 11 years old, bro.
I did see. You know what? Holes once again. Field trip. Did see that play. There you go.
Oh, really?
Movie.
So basically, with this, he's gonna have to take time off to film. Does he win the title next week?
Oh
no. Stay tuned to find out.
Yes. Katie,
watching.
Are you familiar with the Von Erichs?
I'm not.
Oh man, they were great. They were in world class. Probably my favorite territory. I think I can go on record in saying that world class championship wrestling was down there in Texas, down there in the Sportatorium, down there in Dallas. Probably my favorite territory. Seriously, Von Erichs, Freebirds, Texas Red, Bruiser Brody, like Austin getting his start down there. Like just a lot of great talent came from that territory. Love it.
Sounds great.
Go back and watch that stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Watch it on the cock.
Stop. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. Stop that.
I mean, there's another word that I guess we can
call.
We'll talk about it later in AEW.
It is Peacock. That is the name of the streaming platform. We're not giving streaming platforms their own little nicknames or anything
on Peacock.
Like that. It is just Peacock.
On Peacock.
Look, that kind of weird stuff may fly over at Curveballs and Chair Shots. Not here. This is a critically acclaimed.
I'm
podcast.
a peacock, Philip. You gotta let me fly.
Okay, Dalton Castle. All right, inside the ring, Sasha Banks trains with the Juice, my friend Juventud.
Not Juice Robinson, not Juicy,
not Juicy.
No,
not Orange Cassidy.
So when what? His name doesn't even have juice in it.
But he's orange juice.
No, the Juice, and we're not talking about OJ. Yes, Juventud, one of the greatest luchadors of all time. So, I mean, given what we've seen with Monday Night Raw, which we're going to talk about, and spots in this War Games match, there are two left for the good guys' side. I mean, I don't know.
Sasha Banks out here trolling, showing that she's back in her hometown of Boston when there happens to be a wrestling show in Boston today. No, Sasha Banks or Mercedes Vernado. Whatever however
Mercedes Vernado is filming something in Boston. That's why she's there.
I mean,
had nothing to do with AEW being in Boston the same day. Definitely had no correlation for why she just had to make sure people knew that she was in Boston.
I mean, she may be like from Boston, but like she was born out in the Bays. We claim her. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. Like when it comes to wrestling the Bay. I mean, we got the Anawais, we got Sasha. Got Sean Stasiak. Bailey, of course. Bailey. Shout out Bailey.
Crash Holly, shout out.
Will Hobbs. Of course.
Great Khali.
Jungle Boy. Just thriving out here. Love it. Yeah.
Anyways.
Sasha training with Juventud.
I mean, good for her. We've seen her go to Japan and train with the women out there. Obviously, here in the States, she's a student of the game and she loves all different types of wrestling. And, we see a little bit of lucha in her style, being kind of a smaller wrestler. So, I wonder if/when she comes back, if we'll see a little bit more lucha in her style.
A little bit more flashiness. Katie, thoughts?
I'm here for absolutely anything that Sasha Banks does, Mercedes Varnado does. I'm excited about all of this, all of it, and I
Love it.
really want to see her back in WWE soon.
Absolutely. This day in wrestling, probably the most famous thing, one of the most famous things that's happened in the history of the business. The Montreal Screwjob 25 years ago today.
It's all a work, brother.
According to Scott Hall, I never got to ask him that, but apparently it's a work to him, brother. Katie, how familiar are you with the Montreal Screwjob?
Absolutely zero info.
Are you like is that a shoot?
Katie, we need you to go. We need some homework. You need to
That's fine.
go
Give
and
me
do some
homework.
homework.
I'm fine with that. I admit when I do not know things.
I mean, like I was watching this. I was 1 year old. You know,
He was in the locker room. Well, no, Brian was in the locker room.
Yeah, but
in
Brian
Montreal
apparently was in the locker room, and but he saw Brett punch Vince.
Yeah.
You know,
listen, 97. I was 6 and had probably just seen my first wrestling match ever.
But so we'll give you the gist of it. Bret Hart's on his way out of the company. He's the WWE champion. They're in Montreal. He doesn't want to drop the title to Shawn at Montreal. He'll drop it the next night on Raw. He says Vince doesn't want Bret to leave the company with his championship. Thus, they come up with a plan. Shawn puts Bret in the sharpshooter. Vince signals for the bell to ring. Earl Hebner gets the hell out of there. Ironically, they're filming a documentary about Bret's life wrestling with shadows at the time of all this. So
great movie. Don't think it's on Netflix anymore, but he
that's not. So Vince goes to see Bret after. Bret says, "I'm going to take a shower. If you're still here when I get back, I'm going to punch you in the face." And Vince was there. Bret, according to Bret, he said 14 years and uppercuts Vince, and Vince flies and hits the floor. Bret, he leaves, goes to WCW, and
remember this.
Goldberg kicked him in the head and ended his career.
It's just a little story. I mean, it's easy that you could forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, this did a lot of this really did a lot of things. Kind of helped start the Mr. McMahon character, and then the Attitude Era would be brushed in, and then of course, honestly, I think this is the reason why there's a 90-day no compete because of this whole situation with Bret. So, a lot of things.
Yeah, so I do remember that. I didn't correlate the actual event with the name Montreal Screwjob, but I remember this.
The show. On this day, WCW Nitro 1998, one of Brandon's favorite wrestlers, the Ultimate Warrior, makes his first appearance. SmackDown 1999.
The wrestling world was never the same again after that.
Yeah. SmackDown 1999, the future Governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, was on SmackDown, punches Triple H and all that. TNA Turning Point 2008, Kurt Angle beat Abyss. This is probably most famous for Kurt Angle doing that insane dive off of the stage at Abyss. Sting retained the TNA title against AJ Styles. And AEW Full Gear, the first one was on this day in 2019. Cody Rhodes was unsuccessful in a title match against Chris Jericho for the AEW title. Cody lost. He would never challenge for the championship again, which he has gone on record in saying that was a mistake.
You don't say. Handcuffing one of your biggest stars to never challenge for the championship. Just less than a year, less than a couple months into the company's existence. You don't say.
This is why you just don't let wrestlers do what they want to do.
And well, we're here. November 9th, year of our Lord 2022.
Yep.
Still the same.
All right. Moving on. Fan mail. Jack of all trades. With Katie saying, "Oh, Katie, you get mentioned in the fan mail. Look at you."
Well, usually when I get mentioned in the fan mail, because I messed up or I said some
some
pseudo racial things, or I didn't
Brandon,
read someone's email. And it's usually a bad thing if I'm in the email.
Dude, that was like a couple years ago, bro. You had one email and you didn't read it.
Well, that's because I just assumed nobody emailed me.
Yeah. Always check the mail, brother. Always. So yeah, he says with Katie saying Omos should go back to developmental reminds me of a clip I heard from I think it might have been Bully Ray saying we fans shouldn't say things like that because we don't know what
Just like Ric Flair.
we don't know what it takes or what needs to happen. Okay. I feel like I've heard this clip, because Bully Ray says like a lot of these things a lot.
I've heard this clip.
Yeah. Once again, get where Bully Ray's coming from. We are not wrestlers. We don't travel the roads. We don't take bumps for a living. So we don't.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we don't know like really what needs to happen. What we've never like performed in front of a crowd like they have. So I get what he's saying. I understand.
Sure. Yeah. And I do too. Coming from a performance background, watching it from what little experience I do have as a performer, I feel in my personal opinion, and anyone listening does not have to agree with my opinion. I feel like Omos needs more time to develop his character, to develop some more skills on the mic, because I think he could be really good on the mic. And I think he just needs a little more training.
He'll be great
like I've said before, I think he has great potential. He just needs it nursed the right way.
What do you think, Brandon?
About Omos or about the
we're not wrestlers. What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I try to stay away from I'll say like from a fan perspective, I don't find them entertaining. I don't think they're good. So like I kind of like to walk that line because I am well aware I have never wrestled. I don't know what it takes to wrestle. I've, watched wrestling for 20 years now because I'm getting old. That, I've seen my fair share and I kind of know what I like. And so I will be I'll keep it more personal and just be like, and I even say like Omos, I'm not a big fan of him, but I do feel like there is a way to utilize him as a big man, as, using him sparingly as a, tag team guy or, the spectacle like the Braun Strowman match. So
you said
he's been in developmental for a long time. Like he was the ninja back, in the COVID era with Tozawa, and he was developmental for a long time before that. So it's not like, he hasn't been there.
You said use him sparingly as a tag team guy, right? There's only one tag team for Omos. Put him with Riddle or Omos. Sell the merchandise. They will be big in Abu Dhabi. They will be big in Shanghai. They'll be big in Dallas. They'll be big in Chicago. They will sell like nobody's business in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. For Omos all day.
No, 1,000 times no.
All day, baby.
No. No.
I could hear it. Bro,
No,
Moss.
No,
bro,
Moss.
I can hear
No,
it.
Moss.
I can hear 75,000 people inside of WrestleMania going absolutely crazy for the new WWE Undisputed. You know what? They can beat the Usos. I'll say it. Bro, Moss dethrones the Usos. Could you imagine?
Because they get so hot, Omos becomes a megastar, and he's the one that beats Roman, squashes him.
Well, I'm not going that way. Hey,
sorry. That's where we draw the line. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what we apparently Triple H knows who's going to do that. Apparently,
I think you just broke my brain.
It's gonna be Triple H.
It's gonna be
Kingo's got to go over, brother.
Yes,
my brain.
Her brain is broken. Her brain is broken.
Wonderful.
I miss broken Matt Hardy. Wonderful, yes. Robert Walker, what happened to Theory Monday night was a complete waste of his talent and the Money in the Bank briefcase. Usually Triple H builds someone and then Vince gets his hands on them and people are left feeling like, what the hell was that? Well, now the rules have been reversed. Ooh, that was fire.
How the turntables have table turned.
Email. Do you think Vince called him and was like, what the hell was that? I can't wait to talk about this. So excited. Dan. Philip, I heard this on Sam Roberts' podcast, and I'm sure you have as well. Thoughts on Jeff Jarrett being the best worker of all time? I did hear this.
Lol.
Not worker.
Omega lol.
No, not worker as in ring. Worker as in like truly utilizes the business. I mean, if you think about it, like Sam broke it down. I'll break it down for y'all here. You know, he's does a territory thing with his dad, goes to WWE, has a run as one of the early 90s Intercontinental Champions when that title was prestigious as all hell. Leaves, goes to WCW, becomes a horseman, comes back to WWE, doesn't get a world title opportunity, gets Vince to have the NWA World Championship on TV, goes back to WCW, does this thing there, comes back to WWE, late 90s run with the IC title in China, holds Vince up for money, gets the money, leaves, goes to WCW again, slap nuts, world champion. WCW's done. Vince fires him on TV, starts the NWA TNA with his dad, runs that for as long as he can. That doesn't really work out. Starts Global Force Wrestling, you know, doesn't even have an actual, like, doesn't run actual shows, just titles are appearing on different places. Kind of like what I'm doing here.
They had some tapings. There were some tapings. Okay,
there were. Christina Von Eerie was one of their champions. Shout out, friend of the show.
I think the Gallows and Anderson had the tag titles or was competing for them.
Yeah, Cody was the next gen champion, all that other stuff. And then he to keep the Global Force name or to capitalize and make it. How do I want to put this?
We've been doing this for so long.
To add some stank.
Global Force feels like it's been forever ago, and yet we were talking about it when it was happening.
Yeah. To put some stank on like the name, he joins the Bullet Club when it was extremely hot, or before the real peak happened. Does that?
He brought New Japan to the pay-per-view, which is the first ever Wrestle Kingdom I saw on pay-per-view.
That is true. Did stuff with AAA in Japan, goes to WWE, gets in the Hall of Fame, works backstage. And then if not any of that, what he did this year alone. GCW worked against one of their hottest stars in Effie, beat him. Goes back to WWE, gets another job, referees a tag title match between the Usos and the Street Profits at SummerSlam. The next day, wrestles in Ric Flair's last match, and now he's showing up on AEW.
I mean, no hate to Jeff Jarrett. He has had a long career, and he has worn many hats. And I think I said this on the other podcast, that he just has like a stink on him that AEW like shouldn't bring him in. And if he wants to work backstage, it's perfectly fine. But I just don't know, like, having him on screen in 2022 is what they should be doing. But I mean, the TNA run, I think, and the late stages of WCW really kind of is what that stink is. And I do wonder, one of the many what ifs is if he didn't come in when he returned to WWF, kind of buried Stone Cold and kind of didn't like his gimmick and didn't understand it. And then Stone Cold was like, yeah, I'm not working with that guy. And his career was basically handicapped in the WWF since then.
Katie, any thoughts on JEFFJARRETT? Bay.
So, first of all, I love Jeff Jarrett. Love him.
Wait a minute, there's actually Jeff Jarrett fans out there? That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, I will sing With My Baby Tonight right now.
I did not get to see last week's AEW Dynamite, so I didn't actually know that he had returned. But when I was live tweeting today, I was like, oh wow. Oh, hey, hello, Jeff Jarrett. I was very excited. And then, hearing him kind of take a shot at Braun Strowman, I was like, oh, ouch, shots fired. But honestly, I'm excited to see him. I can't necessarily say whether or not I agree that he's the hardest worker in the industry, because I don't know. I don't have enough information to be able to really give an opinion on that. But I can just say I'm hella excited.
So from like what Sam listed off, what I just went through like that, and like he can be in the conversation for worker in that term.
I would put like Chris Jericho in there because he's had such a long career.
Yeah, no,
yes, he might have been in WWE for a long time, but he doesn't have the famous family that definitely helps him. Like after the WCW dying, they didn't bring him back. If he didn't have his dad or he didn't start a new company, didn't have that experience, what would Jeff Jarrett be in 2004?
That's a very great possibility. Yeah, you could throw Jericho in there because I mean, like, it speaks for itself. Like we know the career Jericho's had. WWE, WCW, Japan, especially the most recent Japan run, the AEW run. Now he's the Ocho and the Ring of Honor champion.
Or if we're going like worker, like as you said,
like
Cole Cabana,
in
Young Bucks, the indie revolution of the last 15 years.
that is true. Yeah. So I mean, it's just a nice thought. We'll go over to In Brightest Day X.
Mr. X, shout out.
The Royal Rumble used to be a springboard for new talent to make it to the next level when they win it. In recent years, it all seems to focus on who's going to return. Am I alone in thinking this? No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Not wrong at all. I've been feeling the same way.
Because I mean, like you remember, I remember, like okay, Batista wins. It's his time. When Benoit won, like it's finally his time. You know what I'm saying? I mean Ray, like you can list off. Eventually, it did start becoming like guys who have already won world championships. Who, all right, let's get them in a program to where they can be in a world title program. Like when you have like Sheamus and Orton, guys like that. But no, yeah, like I get what he's saying. Maybe with Triple H in charge this coming January, that changes.
And you can just draw the parallel to WWE stopping, not being able to create stars since the Cena and Batista era. I mean, they tried with Roman and it didn't really work that well. But, since then it's been like the Brock and Roman years. So they've been a lot of, top guys, and what Randy's won. You can say Shinsuke. Like Shinsuke is kind of like the one that kind of stands out the last, decade, I guess.
I mean,
that didn't work out.
Like the Drew win, like obviously we know he won the title in front of no one, but like it felt like okay, we were finally starting to get back to that. Like a guy who has a great look. He's an upper mid.
But at least then he still kind of had like the history. Shinsuke,
no, yeah,
was like out of quote unquote out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, but we'll see. We'll see. He also says they worked themselves into a corner with the Money in the Bank. There's no way they'd have Theory beat Roman, so they changed it to where you could cash in on any title. Well, that's always been the case. You can always cash in on any championship. That's always been the case of the Money in the Bank. More specifically, a title which he already held. This diminishes the point of winning the briefcase as well as hurting Theory's stock in the process. Big question is, can Theory come back from this? We'll talk about all that once we get to Raw. I will say this. Him cashing in on a championship he's already held, that doesn't really hurt it, Edge has already been a world champion. He cashed in to win another world championship, The same can be said for Randy Orton when he cashed in on Daniel Bryan, SummerSlam 2013.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I have no recollection of that ever happening. I still have that on my DVR. You might have it on the Peacock, but I still have it on the DVR, and I don't remember that ever happening.
What cable provider you got?
I got that DirecTV, the best one.
No, if we're talking like best one, I think Xfinity tops them all.
I had Xfinity back in my early wrestling days, and it was a tough
when
time.
It was Comcast.
When it was trying to order those pay-per-views, I remember there has been multiple times we had to call and just be like, "We bought this. It's a black screen. What is going on here?" Or we hear it, we can't see it. What's going on? I never happened with DirecTV.
I know DirecTV wasn't a fan. We switched over to when it was Comcast. Ordered pay-per-views. Never had a problem. Comcast, when it comes to providing cable services, they are the best in the history of the business. Wi-Fi, top notch.
As someone who has Xfinity, I agree with that. Also, Brandon, when you said DirecTV the first time, I thought you said Drug TV, and I was like, "What is that?"
Oh, that's what they.
Well, I used to watch the drug shows. AT&T got the internet. It's fantastic. Shout out to the fiber. Great fiber, everyone. Now, fiber, be regular.
I will say, if there's a second best for the cable, like the AT&T Uverse, I think that's second best. My personal opinion. But
shout out NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, but Drug
TV,
the
best red zone.
Drug TV is what they show in the projects.
Yeah.
Anyway,
started with Ronald Reagan.
Oh,
that's how it first started during the Reagan administration.
Reaganomics. Shout out Nancy Reagan. I can't say that here, so I'm. They have the story of MJF reaching his potential. Would anyone be surprised if MJF actually loses at Full Gear, then actually joins the BCC to learn from Mox, Regal, and company? Is that too crazy of a scenario? Yes, it is.
I don't think I think there's a possibility he loses. I don't see the possibility of him joining with Moxley after he just, you know, stopped being with the firm, and that was this whole thing of he doesn't want to be with a group or tied to somebody.
Or is he really with the firm and he's working us all?
I don't know.
Y'all just killed me.
What? You didn't watch it? Well, you didn't live in the projects. You didn't watch Drug TV. Oh, is that not what we're talking about?
What are we talking about? I'm confused.
I'm confused as well.
I just spent the last like 3 minutes coughing my lungs up because you guys make me laugh so hard.
Because we're clowns. We're clowns. It's a clown show here, Philip.
We're clans. God damn it, we're clans.
Hey, shout out Pat McAfee. Him and his wife are having a kid after some issues these last few years. Shout out Pat McAfee. And Mrs. Pat McAfee.
Shout out to Pat McAfee. Oh, one of the best, one of my inspirations when I'm on the mic calling matches.
I love Pat McAfee. He's so great.
Love Pat. He's one of the best guys in the history of the business. Love him. But yeah.
I think that the theory of MJF.
Austin. Oh, sorry, wrong theory.
Wrong theory. I think the theory of MJF losing to John Moxley and then joining Blackpool Combat Club is a little far-fetched. Personally, my money, my opinions on MJF to win the championship, but we'll see what happens at Full Gear.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Next up, I guess, let's talk about some Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory cashed in Money in the Bank unsuccessfully on the United States Championship. Look, I love Money in the Bank. It's my favorite match of all time. I am tired of this briefcase, just not being cashed in on successfully like that. I mean, when Cena happened, okay, he's the first one, cool. Then it was Sandow, okay. Honestly, I think Corbin should have won the title. Strowman, I was like, it's Strowman, whatever. Them taking it off of Otis, putting it on Miz, that was the smart move.
Hey, Otis was over. You should have kept on Otis. I stand by that. Otis was over.
It worked out. It worked out the way it went. Look, Hunter. I'm not gonna say he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not one of those fans. I'm just like, okay, he decided to do this. We have to truly wait and see what happens. But I have a theory about Austin.
What?
He needs a definitive moment to bounce back from this, or he may never recover. To be fair, I like how Baron Corbin was like, hey, bro, welcome to the club. Our leader is John Cena on the unsuccessful cash-ins. Thought that was haha. Katie, what are your thoughts on Austin Theory unsuccessfully cashing in the Money in the Bank contract?
I won't lie, I laughed a good portion of the time because I hate Austin Theory as a heel. But he's such a good heel, which I'm that just means I'm in it. I am in it. But I definitely think he needs a defining moment. I think that his potential is currently being squandered, and I pray that Mr. Paul Levesque, our dear Triple H, comes up with something really good to give him because he deserves to be on the roster. He deserves to have a defining moment and to shine. And he hasn't been given that opportunity, really.
Yeah, he needs to shine bright like a diamond. Brandon.
I agree with Mr. X. They kind of booked themselves into a corner. Not only with Theory, but just kind of this, Money in the Bank contract in general, just because of Roman and where he is. I did like the possibility of him like cashing in on NXT, just because that is the top championship for that brand, and it would make sense if he were to do that. Um, I just don't know. It just makes him look like a schmuck going after a secondary title when he could go after the top championship. And maybe they have some sort of reasoning behind it. He'll cut some promo and he saw his opportunity and he took it. But it's like, why would you go after that title when you have the chance in an unlimited, whenever you want chance at Roman? Like, it just makes him look like an idiot. And this, I don't want to say like a smack in the face to like what Vince has done, but it definitely shows that Triple H did not have the same theory that Austin Theory is going to be, one of the top guys going forward. But I say you just had him cash in on Roman and lose. I think that does less damage than him cashing in on a secondary championship and losing.
Well, given it's Seth Rollins and how hot he's on, does that kind of
is he really that hot?
Bro, do you not hear people singing this song every week? Doesn't matter where they are.
Okay, just because people are Pavlovianly singing a song doesn't mean you're over.
Bro, look, Seth Rollins has
just because the circus comes to town, you sing the song doesn't mean.
Let's be real. Seth Rollins has lost every pay-per-view match he's had this year, and with the exception of technically he beat Roman at Royal Rumble via DQ, but besides that, he's been pinned in every pay-per-view match he has had this year. But he is still over. He still performs at the highest level. He's still a very prominent featured segment.
I think we use that term
television.
Over very loosely.
Or not, okay, he's still a very prominent featured segment in a prominent featured match on television every single week. That's just a credit to how good Seth Rollins is.
Or just because they don't have that many people at that level. And he can lose every single time. And yeah, he might not be at the peak of what he could be, but it's like you're not going to bring up The Miz or, insert whatever mid-card person when Seth Rollins is at a certain level. He might not be at the very tip-top level, but it's not like this definitely is not the most over Seth Rollins has been. And I think since he returned from his knee injury, it's kind of progressively, gone down a little bit.
We talk about the injury. I
wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Talk about the injury in 2016.
Yeah.
So I'll put it here. He came back. He should have been a babyface. Was a heel again. Okay, whatever. They turned him babyface. He tried to find his stride for a very long time. The IC title run. Okay, cool. Found his old babyface stride. And then he did the thing with Brock. Really hot for a second. Then the fans started to turn on him. Obviously, the Fiend stuff happens. Becomes the Messiah.
Shut up.
All this other stuff. Now, but he's in a prominent spot at the moment. It like this. This is basically where he should have been when he came back. I mean, sure, he came back, beat Roman for the WWE title. Okay, cool. Then lost it a couple minutes later to Moxley. Yeah, whatever. But he, at this point in time, he is in a very prominent spot. He's performing on a different level. He's performing better than he was back then. Say that with a fact.
Is he though?
He is.
What is the Seth Rollins character? He he maniacally laughs, dresses funny.
He's the drip guy.
I'm gonna put in my 2 cents here because so I joined back up in watching wrestling, really getting into it in 2020, and at the time he was still Monday Night Messiah, and every single time I see him reinvent himself, I think that the characters are similar, but he puts 115% effort into every single character that he does. He is ridiculously talented. He is a pretty safe wrestler when it comes to working with other people. And
not according to Bret Hart.
Or Sting.
Well, not according to Bret Hart, but he does what he can to make sure that people are safe. Now, I think that he is a very prominently featured segment on Raw. I think that he has a fantastic run going right now. I'm excited to see where he takes his championship. And I don't think he deserves the hate, Mr. Brandon.
I mean, I'm not hating. I'm not
Listen,
saying he's not in a prominent.
just
I think Brandon's jealous of the fur coats. I think Brandon wants
Oh
a
yeah,
furry
I'm so
coat.
I'm
I
so
think
jealous.
so. Do you need to wear a fur coat for a little bit? Because I've
Well,
got
you
Like,
guys are
it's-
okay. You guys are saying he's in a
problem.
prominent spot, which I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm more disagreeing with like he's on this hot run right now.
He is on a hot run. Oh my gosh.
How is he on a hot run? How is he on a hot run?
Look at the people that he's been fighting against. I mean, come on, this year alone.
My point is he lost all those matches, hasn't really lost momentum.
Exactly.
Like he should after the third Cody loss, attacked
He's
him
like
the next night. Still hot.
This might come as a dig. The Miz is at a certain level. Seth Rollins is at a certain level. He can win or lose. He can lose as much as he wants. The Miz is not going to go down a certain amount. He's always going to be where he is. Seth Rollins, he's losing right now. He's lost a lot of his matches. He's at a certain level. That's higher than The Miz, but he's also like Raw is the Roman show, and he's kind of like he's the guy. He's the U.S. champion. Now he is the U.S. champion, so maybe they can build him up a little bit more. But I'm just not crowning him as this like hot act right now. I mean, he just turned babyface, and he like is just a babyface. He didn't like turn or like change his act by any means.
It's okay.
Did
Be
he
wrong.
officially turn babyface?
No. He didn't officially turn babyface. I think they're running towards that, but it's okay. You can be wrong, Brandon.
Yes, just because people Pavlovinly sing your song means you're over, apparently.
Anyway, let's get back to Austin Theory.
Hey, this is the whole reason we're supposed to be talking about was Austin Theory.
Yeah, we were talking about Austin Theory and his failed cash-in. Let's just hope that they come up with something to, give him his shining moment.
John Cena?
Boo.
You can't see me.
I've been yelled at like that since the other guy was here, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
What did he yell at you about?
Well, we got into some significant disagreements.
Oh yeah, he liked it.
It's honestly very similar because he's kind of more the artsy type, kind of similar to Katie.
Yeah, I mean he was going to those Ren fairs too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There you go. Now she's the other girl, but she's more than the other girl. She's Katie. She's Scarlet, the agent of chaos, and however many other nicknames she's got. She still has more nicknames than I do, and she's been here for like a month.
I am the Scarlet Seductress. I am the agent of chaos. I am Poison Scarlet.
Stealing my gimmick with just having multiple names.
I have 3 names. 3 names.
It's gonna be
have like 37.
It's
301.
It's gonna be 4, then it's gonna be 5, then it's gonna be 15, then it's gonna be 29.
Someday I will rival you, but today is not that day.
Rival me? I'm the OTK. I'm the one take kid. You want to do this?
I've already said I'll fight you.
Want to fight me?
I will fight you.
Me?
Yes.
What me? I don't want to do this.
I know you don't want to do this. That's exactly why I'm saying it.
Come down to Oasis. Invitation is open any day of the week.
Trust. I'm working on it.
Oh, I need to get the cameraman. I need to find David Edge.
Listen, no lie. I am legit talking with Leo right now about rolling out to Oasis.
You're talking to somebody while we're conducting this podcast?
Yes.
All the attention is supposed to be on the pod. Wow, Katie.
Listen, I am a multitasking queen.
Oh, she gave herself another nickname. Oh,
no. I didn't give myself that nickname. I've been given that nickname with every single job that I've had.
Brandon. Philip, let's talk about this Survivor Series War Games match. Please.
We got our first War Games match. War Games! Official. Well, can't do that anymore because he's the company, but the women's War Games match is official. We got Damage Control with Nikki Cross, the new /former /final 24/7 champion. Shout out.
I will say this real quick. Peter Rosenberg is still the greatest 24/7 champion of all time.
Pat Patterson, greatest 24/7 champion of all time. RIP. Katie, who's your favorite 24/7 champion?
Her favorite is friend of the show, Ted DiBiase.
Or Santa Claus?
Or Kelly Kelly, also a friend of the show.
Actually, my favorite is R-Truth.
See, that's the typical answer
I love him.
for everybody.
Don't at me.
Look, I get it.
Shout out Drake, or no, shout out. Did Drake Maverick's wife?
Shout out Drake. He said it. I knew it.
I did not.
Wait.
I said Drake Maverick. Did Drake Maverick's wife win the championship?
24/7 champion? Or no. It wasn't Pat McAfee.
It wasn't Pat McAfee.
What's his name?
Gronk won it.
Gronk was the 24/7 champion.
That was pretty funny. I loved watching him dive off of the off of the second story landing. That was.
Do I even dare go on the Wikipedia page? This thing's gonna be like 10 pages long of everyone who's held it.
Katie, have you seen that video of like Vince being like, "This is how you do it" because he was scared to jump?
No.
Yeah, Vince was like, "Do it like this," and then Vince just jumped, and I was like,
there we go. Titus O'Neil, first ever champion. Never forget.
Yes. Yes.
Good man, Titus.
Okay, let's go back to the.
Sorry, I'll shout out Alundra Blaze. She's nice. Shout out $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Shout out Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis.
Everyone's got a price.
And the Revival. Both of them apparently were co-champions for whatever reason.
Love it.
Everyone's gonna pay.
Oh, shout out Enos, whatever his name is, Cantor.
Yeah, let's
shout out Mayor Glenn. Oh, never mind. Not shout out Mayor Glenn Jacobs.
Yeah, let's go back to the War Games. Please.
When I'm going, shout out Marshmallow.
Oh my god.
Michael Giasso, isn't that one of the? I don't know who that is.
I have no idea.
Shout out Kyle Busch. Shout out Santa Claus.
Yes.
Santa's coming to town.
So, Nikki Cross with Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, and Bayley against Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and two people who have yet to be named.
We'll find out in the coming weeks.
We will find out in the coming weeks. Shout out Asuka and Io just shouting Japanese at each other. Thought that was fantastic.
Did you see the translation?
Yes.
It was so much better with the translation.
I loved it.
Shout out to Gobbledygooker.
Yes. Brandon, what are your thoughts on this War Games match?
Shout out Peter Rosenberg.
Okay, yes, shout out Peter Rosenberg.
I'm still in February 2021. Shout out Doug Flutie.
We're done. We're done with that.
Shout out Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, one of the greatest 24/7 champions of all time.
Yes, he took it.
Shout
out
Joseph Average. Who the hell is Joseph Average?
An average Joe. Okay, so.
Yeah, they did those Old Spice commercials. It was really stupid.
Yes.
Remember the KFC commercials they did?
Dude, what are your thoughts about this War Games match, please?
It makes sense, Damage Control, their group, Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa have been going at them for a couple months. So if you're gonna have one men and one women's one, having Damage Control against their arch rivals definitely makes sense. I don't know how it's gonna work in ring wise. You got Io, who's probably gonna do something crazy. I did see your favorite Brian Alvarez tweet something like, "Oh, they're gonna go so crazy at War Games this year," because basically all the people who have been in War Games matches are AEW people now. So it should be very interesting and fun to see what a main roster WWE roster will do in a War Games match, because those NXT ones, they were insane and crazy because all NXT takeover matches were insane and crazy.
We shall wait and see.
War Games AEW was one of my favorite things so far this year.
Shout out Reggie. What happened to Reggie?
I don't know what happened. You talk about their blood and guts?
Or no, yeah, their blood and guts. Yeah.
Blood and guts. Shout out Nikki ASH.
Yeah.
Shout out Dewdrop. When's Dewdrop coming back as Piper Niven?
Her, bro.
Yeah.
What happened to her? Miss her. Yeah, look. So as far as like the Damage Control side,
shout out Sean Bennett.
Who do you think is going to be on their team? Who do you think?
And then we're made to the end. T's and P's to the 24/7 championship. Okay, we're done.
Yes.
Anyways, War Games.
Nikki Cross tried to throw it in the garbage, completely missed.
Whiffed.
Didn't get her Alundra Blaze moment. Sucks to suck. So yeah, Brandon, who do you think is going to be on the Damage Control side?
They got one more spot to fill, correct?
I'd like to see Rhea Ripley.
I think you kind of keep Rhea Ripley like to herself, and now we got the thing with Mia Yim. Shout out. Um, I'm trying to think like the women's roster on Raw, and this is just kind of the roster right now. Like, let's see, WWE Raw roster, because I would assume it's all going to be on the same.
Is it going to be the Queen? No.
I'd be surprised. She's on SmackDown anyway.
Is she?
Yeah.
Charlotte's on SmackDown?
I'm pretty sure she's on
Can I
SmackDown.
not?
I don't even think the brand split matters at the moment.
I'm on the website, and there's not like a way to split them. So that's great. And there's like 20. Oh, look, there we go. Current. Oh, here we go. Raw. Maybe some Raw wrestlers.
There you go.
Let's see. Who are some Raw women's wrestlers? Becky Lynch is out there. Carmella. Oh, Candice LeRae. She can probably be on the babyface side.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know who's going to be on the damage control side. As far as Bianca's team, I mean, Sasha and Naomi, they seem like the logical choice. I mean, because we know when they return, they're going to get a massive pop. Yeah.
But they could also wait until Royal Rumble to bring them back.
That is a possibility. That is a possibility.
Because that would be a big pop too.
So is this going to be like exclusively a Raw match while the men's one is like predominantly SmackDown if the Bloodline is going to be on the men's team?
I think this is Raw and SmackDown because, you know, the women's tag team champions are involved and they can go to both shows.
Oh, okay. Great loophole there.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say that they're not going to do 4 War Games matches?
No, that's
No.
way.
That'd be a lot, but that would be too
That's
much.
way too much.
We're pushing it. We're already pushing it with 2.
Yeah. Mia Yim has returned to WWE. She joins the OC to help them with their Rhea problem. Look, I mean, they haven't really
good for her.
Yeah, the good for her. Love
Glad
Mia
she's
Yim.
back.
Glad she's back. They haven't
Welcome
really gone
back, Mia Yim.
They haven't gone into why, which I'm gonna need a real like why, because she has no connection to these dudes at all whatsoever.
Well, you know, Mia Yim, AJ, Impact, TNA days, maybe. I don't know.
She wasn't there when he was there.
I don't. I'm trying. Okay.
No, bro.
Trying.
It would have like they need somebody else. Real talk. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, do you bring someone from NXT? I don't know. Like, honestly, like Dewdrop, if you want to like really like harden her, kind of like what you're doing with Nikki, that could have been an option. But once again, no real connection there. But
Katie, what are your thoughts on Mia Yim's WWE return?
I mean, I'm excited to see her back. In fact, I wrote a note about it, and of course, I deleted it. Haha. I'm super excited to see her. When I first started watching, and she was with God, what were they called? Mustafa Ali and T-Bar and Mace and
how can you forget about Retribution?
Retribution.
Retribution. I wish I could forget it, honestly. But I felt like she wasn't being utilized, and I'm really hoping that Triple H will be able to utilize her in a better way. Let's see what comes from her teaming up with the OC. I don't quite see a correlation as to why she's with them because she doesn't have any ties to them. But
can confirm she was in TNA the year after AJ left.
Yeah, I know because I was watching.
Oh, I thought you were there. Brian was there, but were you there?
No, but I'm not one of these dudes that's like, oh, I was there when I wasn't. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy,
I'm
Kyle.
just excited to see her.
I saw her when she was at Full Queer and Concord earlier this year.
Yeah.
Shout out Mia Yim. Put Pollo through a door.
Yes.
Love Pollo though. No, love her. Love Pollo.
Also, can we just talk about the fact that she and Keith Lee are total couple goals? Like they're adorable.
I bet Keith Lee wishing he can come back right now. Just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying, man.
I love
Oh,
Keith Lee.
yes. We're
He
gonna
is
move on. We're gonna move on from that. The Bloodline defeats the New Day and Riddle. Riddle ruined the segment by coming out. I'm not even gonna lie. Because
Yeah.
whenever the New Day and the Usos is together on the mic, like it was
It's
Xavier
fire.
Xavier saying we built our legacies off our own backs. We didn't use our daddy or our uncles or our cousins. I was like, oh. And then the
Yeah.
Usos gonna be like, you know how hard we had it, bro, being from this family. I was like, oh, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
And then Matt Riddle came out with the bongos.
yeah, you would hit my bong, bro.
See, get it? Because it's a bongo, but a bong is also something you smoke weed with. And
Hey,
Riddle
I'm not gonna
allegedly
lie.
likes to smoke weed.
I'm not gonna lie. I did pop when he said tap tap pass.
Truth, but also it just didn't fit with the intensity of what was going on the mic
You see,
beforehand.
the
I think
bongo.
I think Riddle is trying to enter the tag team division. This only means one thing, Philip.
Oh my God, he's gonna see Omos backstage. You want to hit my bong, bro? Omos starts playing. Oh my God, yes, Omos is coming.
I swear, if this happens,
No, Katie, like shoot, like if Bromos actually becomes a thing, what will you do?
She might stop watching.
I'm gonna tweet about it. What would you do for real?
my brain
It was a
can't,
pleasure having you on the Bulletcast, Katie.
my brain can't process the idea of them being together. Like I legitimately hate this idea. I I don't know what I don't know what I'm gonna do if this actually happens.
Katie, when are you gonna take it? Like, when are you gonna understand? I'm one of the greatest minds of the 21st century. This is one of my great ideas.
You know,
It's
I wasn't a fan of Bromos to begin with, but I'm starting to come around on it.
no, stop. No.
Not for
Don't
any
make
serious
this,
reasons, but I'm here for the
don't
memes.
make this a thing.
I'm here for the lulz.
Come on, let's
Ugh.
do it. Ah,
I might actually break down and cry.
Bromos to the moon.
Just
to the moon.
full on crocodile tears,
It's crikey, Mike.
angry, yelling, full blown meltdown. Like it will
As long as we get a video of it, gotta do it for content.
Gotta do it for the content. Yes.
It will be my pipe bomb.
Don't mind. Solo Sikoa gets the win, pitting Riddle, one half of the future Bromos. Hits the
Facts.
spinning solo. Love it. Yoko used to use that move, so it ties back to the family. Oh, let's go. I love the bloodline.
I love the bloodline.
No,
Love
Katie,
the bloodline.
what you're gonna have to go back and do, watch the rap battle between the Usos and the New Day from 2017. It was on the
Yeah.
fourth. It was on a 4th of July episode of SmackDown. Wale
I'm just gonna go pull that up right now.
was the mediator, if you would speak. Great times. Then the Miz defeats Johnny Gargano.
Did you know that Wale has the song? It's Razor Ramon, and it has the sample in the background.
Love
Oh my
it.
God! Very first thing that pops up.
Just do my best Philip impression.
Bro, listen, that is one of the greatest.
But every
samples
single
of all
time we bring up Wale, you say that every time.
Because
Okay,
it's
I have
great.
I have the video up and ready to run once we are done with the podcast.
There you go. Let's get into AEW Dynamite. Let's hit this real quick. The
Yes.
Gun Club and
Oh,
Swerve.
you don't want to talk about the Miz and Johnny Gargano and how Gargano was just very sports entertainment-y. Just living it up. He's doing such a great job right now.
Yeah.
Just what I thought Johnny Wrestling would be doing under Triple H, having complete control on the main roster.
Hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Anyway, let's go to AEW. I liked this.
Let's knock all of this out. Gun Club and Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR and the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed and FTR, they get the W. As they should. Yes, sir. What are your guys' thoughts? Real quick.
So watching this, I feel like FTR and the Acclaimed really kind of worked together and did a great job as a 4-man tag match or 4-man, tag team. Gun Club and Swerve just didn't mesh. And I think that's probably what they were going for, but it really just made them look bad versus FTR and the Acclaimed came out of it with great momentum.
I thought it was a fine opening tag match. Definitely kind of playing into the dissension growing with Swerve and Lee. So
Yeah.
FTR they continue to be over, even though they're not really doing anything, and the Acclaim continue. I do wonder how long this whole scissor me thing is going to last, because I think it's going to flame probably very quickly, but it's not flaming out right now.
Did you guys see the sign near the ramp, the scissor hole?
Not during November. Come on, guys.
Guys, it's November. Y'all gotta chill. December 1st, go back at it.
Gentlemen, I have no chill.
God, y'all gotta calm down with
No
that.
chill. No chill.
It's hard
None of
out
it.
here for some of these dudes.
Oh, you poor things.
Yeah, y'all poor things. I don't care about November. I'm still out here.
I don't participate in that.
Ah, Katie out here too. Brandon, are you out here?
Stay out here.
Oh, Brandon, stay
Yeah, I no. Mm-mm.
all day. But yeah, so moving on from that. MJF promo was actually shot while he was on a podcast, which
Barstool, part of my take. Shout out Big Cat. Shout out PMT. Are you a part of the 999 club? I don't think you are. I am.
It's not the Bulls. It's not the BC, bruh. So I don't care.
Just don't be jealous because you're not a part of the exclusive 999 club.
What do you mean? I'm a
you
part
wouldn't
of
know
other
because
clubs.
You're not a part of it.
Look, I'm a peckerhead. Stop. I'm a peckerhead. What are you talking about? Do you guys know what peckerheads are?
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
You guys don't know what peckerheads are?
It's November, Philip. Settle down.
What do you mean? So, Brennan, tell us about this promo.
Well, it was just it wasn't like it was. I don't know like what they were going for in terms of like setup about doing this on part of my take, but Big Cat just asked him like, oh, you got this match coming up, and then MJF just went on this whole diatribe and talking about what it means for his career and how, quote unquote, every single time he's had this like big moment, big match in his career, it's always been overshadowed by something else, like Cody's neck tattoo or Matt Hardy almost killing himself when he fell, and we got an outright acknowledgement of the Full Gear press conference on his return. Yeah, just continuing to going on the trajectory
on his parade
of MJF, just like really wanting to get this championship and kind of muddying the water and don't know exactly where he stands, which I don't want to cast any judgment to be like, oh, this sucks, oh, this is great or whatnot, just because I don't know, like, what are we supposed to feel? Because we have this entire 3-year history of what MJF has been. He says he's supposed to be, he says he's changing, but this isn't the first time he's done this. So it's like, it's hard for us, like the audience, to fully be like, oh yeah, he's changed. He's going to be a good boy this time.
The last time he said he changed, he did it for like a week or two and then went just right back to being what he is. Did you read this quote yet?
You can read it. We have in-depth notes this time.
You want me to?
I'll read it. This could be the potential crowning of the next face of professional wrestling. His match at Full Gear against Jon Moxley. Oh, that's what this means. All I have to do to etch my name in history is have a long, fruitful title reign, and all that stands in my way is Jon Moxley. So basically, he's saying like he could be a Flair, a Cena, a Bruno Sammartino, an Austin, a Rock. Okay. Could he though? Because all the guys he named, where did they become the face of a generation?
On the other channel.
Maxwell, if you want to truly be the face of a generation, come over to Stanford, brother. Come on over. Come to New York, as I used to say back in the day.
Listen, I'm just going to say, as a UC Berkeley grad,
What are you getting at?
Stanford is not WWE.
Stanford, Connecticut.
Anyways, I thought the promo was good.
No, hold on, Katie. What are you talking about?
Me misconstruing what was being said.
Yeah,
I mean Stamford.
Yeah, it sounded like Stanford.
Stanford, Connecticut. Titan Towers. But yeah,
I like the promo. I like the intensity. Kind of questioning. You promote. Oh, MJF is going to talk, but yet it was on a podcast or it was on a pre-tape that wasn't even in the arena, which I was like, okay, as much as I'm a stoolie and I love seeing them on AEW, it's kind of weird. And then you go right after that, coming back from break, or right after that, pretty much, you get oh my god, what the hell's the firm's guy's name? Stokely Hathaway talking about MJF turning on him, calls him a dick rider, calls him saying he's dick riding for John Moxley, and it's like you have him cutting this presumably babyface promo, then Stokely kind of goes back at him where he's clearly a heel, and it's like, okay, I once again very muddying the waters with MJF, and then you have John Moxley cutting another promo where he's doubting what MJF is talking about, so it's like everyone's getting pulled in different directions.
Did you really just say that on the show?
I was quoting what he was saying.
No, you gotta male genitalia riding. You can't just say that.
If you can say it on the TBS, I think you can say it on these international internet wavelengths.
Now, if you're talking about somebody's name, then yeah, you can say that. Like Dick Cheney. Yeah, you could say that. You can say Dick there. Can't say Dick at the other part.
I was just quoting him. Sorry. He said, quote unquote, MJF is a dick rider for John Moxley. Quote unquote. Unquote. Quote.
Okay. 2 times. Will we get a third? No.
Dick rider.
All right, enough of this dick riding. All ego Ethan Page versus Eddie Kingston. All ego hits the ego's edge, gets the dub. He advances in the world title eliminator tournament. I feel like they do like 4 of these a year.
They do a lot.
Yeah. It's a world title eliminator.
And Moxley's had eliminator matches, so it's like add like 5 more people to that list.
Right.
Everybody's getting eliminated.
Is this their version of the champion contenders match? Is that what this is?
I think so.
I guess.
But WWE has dropped that, thankfully.
Pretty much.
I should bring it back. I'm a fan.
I hate it. Eddie Kingston, he should win all of his matches. I told you he should be the one that unseats MJF when he wins the title and he teases leaving WWE, but we're still a year from that. But
yeah,
I still have hope that Eddie Kingston could be the man.
I wanted Eddie to win really bad, but
love all ego. I'm a huge fan.
Honestly, watching that Avalanche egos help
Edge.
Yes, thank you. Watching that was pretty sick. And at that point I was like, whoa.
It's tight.
Yeah, he gets the win. He gets the win.
Moving on from that, Ari Daivari versus Wardlow in a TNT Open Challenge. Wardlow decimates him, calls out Powerhouse Hobbs. Samoa Joe was at ringside for this match. Wardlow says, "I'm taking all the championships in this company." Joe's like, and then smacks him with the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Samoa Joe, he's back.
But Samoa Joe doesn't hold a title in AEW.
Yeah, I know. We know that, but it might as well be because they're ran by the same dude.
You mean Ring of AEW?
God, all elite Ring of Jericho. That's what this place is. Yeah, but anyway, Joe attacks him. Love it. Samoa Joe is doing Samoa Joe-ish. Powerhouse Hobbs said, "Man, I'll beat y'all ass too." Hey, have you seen that new Skin Bone? That new Skin Bone rap where he's talking about how he's gonna beat everybody's ass?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I thought you were in the street. See, only people associated with the streets have seen that, Brandon.
It hasn't hit the Zoe yet.
Don't ever say that again.
Don't
ever say that again.
Maybe I got to peep in the haystack and see if it's in there.
Look, bro. Look. All right. I think Will
Word.
Hobbs, I think the homie Hobbs is going to beat Wardlow and become the new TNT champion.
I can see that happening. I'd be really
Yes.
excited about that actually. No lie, when they talked about this being the Wardlow Open Challenge thing, I didn't even catch Ari's name because I was so distracted by how jacked Wardlow looks. Like, he's been putting in the work.
He's
Might be on the
in
same steroids
there.
you're on.
Not the same steroids that I'm on right now.
Oh, maybe
No.
maybe he has like a walking pneumonia too, or maybe he's dealing with something.
Wardlow's
Maybe.
out here. He's jacked to the gills right now.
And he's natty. Of course, he's natty
Yes.
because AEW has a
Like-
very strict drug policy
Sure they do.
that we all know about and very clear on.
But dude, Samoa Joe.
Love Joe.
Oh my gosh.
This is the Joe I love.
Yes.
Ugh.
This is the Joe that we all know and love.
And then Saraya and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, they have a face-to-face. Saraya says she's 100% clear to wrestle. So, hey, I mean, this is cool, but like, hey, like she has to stop doing that. This is my house. Like, you just got here. You haven't proven that it's your house. We get it. You know, we get it.
You got to work the gimmicks in, brother.
Okay, but it doesn't make any sense.
Put it on a t-shirt.
It literally doesn't make any sense.
Any house she steps in is hers.
So if she steps in your house, that's her house.
Suddenly, yeah.
Yeah, if she yells it. If she yells, "This is my house," then it's legally binding.
That's like me going on like Joe Rogan's pod. This is my podcast. That's like me doing that. No. Makes no sense.
Well, once you get on there, Philip, let us know how that goes.
Well, I'm
Why
not
would you
going to
want
record
to
with
go
Joe
on
Rogan
Joe
because he can't afford me.
Yes.
Anyway,
Why would you want to go on his podcast? No.
he's just the first name that popped into my head. But anyway, yeah. So they had a cute little back and forth. The point is they're gonna wrestle each other. All right, cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean it's her first match back in years. We'll see.
Also, her promo had a lot of heart.
No, I mean she's very good on the mic.
Talking about everything that she's gone through in the industry.
Yeah.
Like,
look, I've been a fan of hers for years. I'm excited. We'll see. Trent Beretta versus Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal gets the dub. Jeff Jarrett comes out there, takes a jab at Braun Strowman, saying Satnam Singh isn't some giant wearing red skinny jeans. He calls out Sting and Darby Allin for a match at Full Gear. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus Darby Allin and Sting.
And it's been announced. It was officially announced on AEW Dynamite that that match is happening. So
in the year of our Lord 2022, Jeff Jarrett
that's gonna be a thing.
has wrestled in GCW, been involved in a little bit of a storyline in WWE, wrestled for Jim Crockett Promotions for Flair's last match, and is going to wrestle for AEW.
I mean,
Could he be wrestling? Oh, this is great.
We need to get Jeff Jarrett's address so we can send him a casty.
The last outlaw, baby. Let's go.
This is going to be the match on Full Gear where they probably save it till later and we completely forget it's even on the card. And we're like, oh god, we have the Sting Jeff Jarrett match.
You're gonna hear the My World theme song, which it's one of the best themes in wrestling, bro. Like it's incredible. I love it. Moving on from that, Jumping Jungle Boy Jack Perry says he's gonna appear on Rampage. You know, calls out Luchasaurus and Christian Cage, and this whole thing is still going on. Okay, woohoo.
Well, it's all Christian's fault for tearing a shoulder.
Look, man, it's okay. It's okay.
They're drawing it out.
Yeah, once Christian and him actually have a real match, then it'll be over. John Moxley answers MJF's promo and comes out there with Sir Regal. You know, all the good stuff. Moxley saying MJF wears the suits his mommy buys him at JCPenney's. I was like, okay. Brandon, thoughts?
I mean, I like this promo more than MJF's just because it is more, the John Moxley character is much more clear, so it's more understandable to see where he's coming from, what he's talking about, and he's kind of like what the average viewer probably is thinking, like, you know, MJF is saying all these things, but why are we going to believe him? And he's just, you know, running them down, talking crap. I quite enjoyed it. And just, the dynamic of him and Regal, we don't see too much. So I thought that was fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Katie.
Completely agree. Love seeing the dynamic between William Regal and Jeff Moxley, or John Moxley. Where did that come from? Wow. I'm just really excited for this match. I can't wait to see what they pull out of their hats. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Lastly, oh no, I forgot. Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue. Hayter wins. Then we get to a 2 out of 3 falls match.
That's all we can ask for.
Yep, Brian Danielson versus Sammy Guevara.
This was a match.
Yes, it was a match. I'm so used.
Someone got hurt, and that's not what we can ask for.
Yes, I'm so used to calling him D-Bry, bro. Danielson gets the first win.
Call him Brady.
I can't do that. Via disqualification. Because Guevara hit him on a steel chair. Second win goes to Guevara via pinfall. Third win, Danielson via tap out of the label lock. You love it. This was great, man. They were moving. Them boys was moving.
This was a banger of a match.
This was medium average sized men slapping meat.
Yes.
It doesn't work the same. It doesn't.
No.
Average men bumping meat.
But it was an amazing match. It
was fun.
I was riveted. Like, it was so good. You sat there and you watched Brian Danielson just get beat to hell. And Sammy was not letting up. And every single time Brian Danielson was going to, come back, Sammy would just beat him back down, and you were like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? So good. Also, Tay Mello getting ejected from ringside because she's like being herself. Loved it.
Yeah, Tay Mello had the Bulletcast Twitter blowing up one day. Remember that, Brandon?
Shout out Ty Mello. Shout out Ty Conti.
Yes, the former Ty Conti. But yeah, because they're in a fatal 4-way or
But if Brian beat Sammy 2 out of 3 falls, shouldn't that take him out of the match?
No.
I
don't know how AEW they don't do these type of matches often. This is their first fatal 4-way, I think. So I don't know, bro.
I was gonna say they've done a bunch of 2 out of 3 falls matches. Yeah, I will say a little cheeky first fall, which I'll be okay. I'm okay with, but yeah, I mean you can't do that every single one. Just have a regular match, 1 fall. Don't need extra gimmicks. I don't think a 2 out of 3 falls match is bringing in extra viewers.
I love 2 out of 3 falls matches.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you see a Bulletcast heavyweight title 2 out of 3 falls match.
Ooh.
Loverboy Leo and Alpha Zone might be a 2 out of 3 falls match. We don't know. You gotta wait to find out. That's gonna do it for AEW.
I'll only like it if it goes 2 falls, not 3 falls.
That's gonna. What do you mean?
What?
What?
How come?
Oh no, we're not doing. No. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back with some more content. I got a Dave Dutra interview I got to drop at some point in time.
Yeah.
And more. Yes, guys. Heads up, Oasis Pro. I know we were supposed to run on December 10th. We're going back to Vallejo, the Veterans Hall, December 9th. It is a Friday. Jacob Fatu, Danny Limelight, and more to be announced. You don't want to miss it. Last time we got Violent and Hythe in the V, and we running it back, baby. Thank you guys so much. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe. Diamonds are forever. So is the microphone messiah. Hey, is it?